God hates India. Last week, the BJP announced that the Indian economy is fucked. And it is God's fault. Yes, God. Not Pakistan, not JNU, not Nehru, not even Rhea Chakraborty, but God Himself. Man, even China had the decency to blame America for the pandemic and not God. When asked what about the declining Indian economy before COVID 19, was that also God's fault? What about the countless people suffering because of the mismanagement of the lockdown? Was that also God's fault? What about the crisis of joblessness from the past 2 years? Is that also God's fault? What about the highest number of coronavirus cases in India, in the world? Is that also God's fault? When asked all these questions, the BJP said nothing. They said nothing because these questions were never asked. The questions were never asked because the BJP IT cell, also known as the Indian media, was too busy interrogating a postman. A fucking postman? You know these journalists are bloody idiots because right in front of them was standing the ancient relic. Not this one. Not this one. A postman. And they kept asking him irrelevant questions. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to know how Rhea Chakraborty and Akshay Kumar roll their joints. But what I want to know more is who the fuck is still writing letters in Bombay? Talking about ancient relics, while the world was trying to figure out how to deal with the deadly pandemic, last month, India was busy ruining Kunal Kamra's favorite joke. Mandir yahi banega! Yes, the Ram Mandir is finally happening. And with the highest number of unemployed youth in our nation's history, there are just so many more people with free time to celebrate. Seriously, there's so many unemployed people in India right now that we might just have to build the Babri Masjid again and then destroy it and then build it and destroy it and build it and destroy it and build it and destroy it just to give everyone something to do. The Indian economy is so fucked that for us right now, Achhe Din simply means going back to how things were before 2014. The Indian economy is so fucked that it makes you wonder if this is Modi's new strategy of getting rid of Bangladeshis. Go back to Bangladesh because we're fucked. The Indian economy is so fucked that it makes you wonder if a 5-year-old kid might have done a better job. Did Modi mean 15 lakh rupe or 15 late ruk ke? The Indian economy is so fucked that for us recovering from COVID would mean going back to a fucking recession. Remember the good old days before coronavirus? When everything was JNU's fault? The way Narendra Modi has dealt with the coronavirus pandemic proves that he thinks India is an annoying little kid. हाँ बेटे, आज से घर से बाहर नहीं जाना, ठीक है? फालतू के सवाल मत पूछो. बोर हो रहे हो, ये लो थाली लो, जाके थाली बजाओ. ठीक है, कल सुबह से बाहर चले जाना. नहीं, फालतू के सवाल मत पूछो. ओहो, क्या हो गया? तबीयत खराब है? वो देखो प्लेन. वो देखो मंदिर. वो देखो चुड़ैल. You know your country is fucked when the media and the government have to use a young man's death to keep us distracted. The Indian economy, Sushant Singh Rajput's death is a tragedy. The state of Indian economy, the issue of mental illness in Sushant Singh Rajput's death is being completely ignored by the media. The Indian economy, Rhea Chakraborty's family has been systematically destroyed. While our country goes through what is possibly the most challenging time since our independence, the man we elected to run our country has refused to answer any questions from a journalist. Narendra Modi has now officially spent more time playing with peacocks and talking to Akshay Kumar about arm than he has in answering questions from a real journalist. So the obvious question is, would any other prime minister or any other political party have done a better job at handling our economy, at handling the pandemic? I don't fucking know. Maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't have. But here is what I do know. If anyone else had fucked the Indian economy as badly as Modi has, if anyone else had mismanaged a pandemic leading to death and suffering like Modi has, if anyone else had sheltered people who spread hate like Modi does, then the Indian media would have been asking them hard questions. The Indian people would have been asking them questions. You would have been grilling them and trying to make them accountable. But we now live in a new India. We live in Modi's India. And in Modi's India, millions of people lose jobs, the economy crashes, and due to mismanagement of a pandemic, countless people suffer, while the media keeps us distracted. And if the distraction doesn't work, well, they can always blame it on God.